Friends, good day to everyone. In the Tech Ethics series, we explore the ethical implications of technology. In today's episode, we'll discuss about big tech monopolies and ethics of power. The term monopoly means when one company has complete control over a product or service. Now, in the digital world, we have something called digital monopoly. That is, when a tech company becomes so powerful, it controls an entire part of the internet. It can set prices, limit competition, and even decide what we see or don't see online. That brings us to the so-called big tech, also known as tech giants or tech titans. These are the biggest names in technology: Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta, and Microsoft. These companies are not merely large, they are incredibly powerful. They gave us smartphones, search engines, social media, and online shopping. They shape how we live, work, and connect. But the thing is, these companies don't just sell products. They act as gatekeepers. That means they control the doors we use to access the digital world. When we want to make an app for iPhones, we need Apple's permission. When we want our website to show up in search results, we need to play by Google's rules. Their power stretches far and wide. Even if you don't use all their services, you are still affected by the choices they make. They influence us what we see, how we connect, and even what businesses survive online. So here's the big question for today's episode. Should just a handful of companies have this much control over our digital lives? Each of these companies, Google, Meta, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft, controls a different part of our digital lives. Google handles nearly 90% of online searches. That is over 8 billion every single day. Apple's iPhone is in the hands of over 1 billion people. And only Apple decides what apps are allowed to run in its phone. Meta, through Facebook and Instagram, connects nearly 3 billion people, turning their platforms into a kind of global public square. Amazon sells about 40% of everything bought online in the US. And its massive marketplace hosts millions of third-party sellers. To visualize it, picture the internet as a city. Google owns the library. Apple owns the phones and GPS you use to get around. Meta controls the media and public square. Amazon runs the biggest shopping mall. And all of these companies generates billions in revenue. Google alone makes over $200 billion a year just from advertising. The others, Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, are also pulling in tens or hundreds of millions in revenue. With all that money, they grow faster. They invest in the future. Things like AI, cloud computing, and even self-driving cars. And because they are so big, smaller companies simply can't keep up. But it is not just about being rich. It is about how deeply they lock us in. These companies create ecosystem of products and services that work perfectly together, but not so easily with anyone else. Take Apple, for example. Their AirPods, watches, and HomePods are made to work best only with an iPhone. Microsoft cloud service called Azure connect everything from your apps to your business data into one smooth system. Google uses its control of the Android operating system to make its own service the default. That means when you open your phone, Google's already there. These tactics don't just help them to grow. They give big tech a head start in other markets too. Because they're using their control in one area to dominate others. And it gets even deeper. Big tech also buys out the competition. Over the past 10 years, they bought over 1,000 companies, not just to grow, but to stop anyone else from growing. This is not just expansion. It is a strategy. If a small startup creates something cool or disruptive, big tech enters in and buys it before it becomes a threat. So, instead of seeing new independent tech companies rise up, we are seeing all the best ideas and talent get absorbed into the giants. It is like planting seeds of innovation only for the same 5 trees to keep growing taller and shading out everything else. So, when we talk about big tech dominance, we are not just talking about big companies. We are talking about the platforms that shape the digital world, systems that are hard to escape, and a power that keeps reinforcing itself. All this power comes with a big ethical question. What is the cost to our privacy? Big tech companies collect a staggering amount of personal information about us. We are talking about your search history, what you buy, where you go, who you talk to, what you say, and even how long you pass while reading a post. This data comes from everywhere. Your phone, your laptop, your smart speaker, your social media, and it is often collected without you really knowing it. Moreover, consent mechanisms such as pre-checked boxes or misleading forms are frequently designed as a mere checkbox formality, undermining the genuine spirit of privacy laws. And sometimes we are not even given a real choice. And the deeper issue is, for most of big tech, selling ads is their main business, and those ads are powered by your data. The more they know about you, the better they can target you with ads. So, collecting more data is not just helpful, it is profitable. This creates a huge conflict of interest. Big tech companies say they care about your privacy, but their business depends on knowing everything about you. Even when companies promises to protect your data, the financial pressure often pushes them to do otherwise. The system is set up to reward more tracking, not more transparency or control. So, while we might think we are using free apps and services, what we are really paying with is our personal information, our habits, our interests, and even our identities. Big tech companies have become so deeply integrated into daily life that it is difficult to imagine a world without them. Google answers our question, Apple makes the phone we use to connect, Amazon delivers what we need, Meta shapes how we socialize, Microsoft powers our workplaces. But what happens when these companies become so powerful that they are not just tools, but rulers? Some experts call this reality as digital feudalism. Just like feudal lords in the past, these tech giants now control the land. Except today, that land is digital. And we, the users, are increasingly dependent on their rules, their platform, and their decisions. And it is not just consumers who rely on them. Governments do too. In some cases, big tech companies are so influential that they rival governments in power or even surpass them. They control markets, set the rules for businesses, shape communication, and influence public services. They dictate how we interact online, what information gets amplified, and who gets heard. This blurring of lines between corporate power and state authority becomes even more dangerous when it supports digital authoritarianism. AI-powered surveillance may be used to monitor citizens, social media may be used to censor dissent, big data may be used to track, influence, and control behavior. Devices may be hacked or manipulated without our knowledge. In the wrong hands, these tools are not just innovations, they are instruments of total control. And the unsettling part is, many of the systems are built and sometimes managed by the same tech companies we rely on every day. Even in democratic societies, big tech uses its massive wealth to lobby lawmakers, fight regulations, and influence politics. They have even used their platform as leverage, threatening to limit access to services or news in countries that push for tighter regulation. So, when unelected corporate boards can make decisions that impact millions, sometimes entire nations, what happens to democracy? Because this is not just about market dominance anymore. It is about who has the power to shape our digital future and whether that power is accountable to anyone at all. Innovation is supposed to thrive in a competitive market. New ideas, better products, and startups challenging the status quo. But when it comes to big tech, the playing field is not so level. These companies often use their massive market power to push out competitors, especially the ones with fresh, disruptive ideas. They do it in subtle but powerful way, by making strategic changes to their own products that give them an unfair edge, by locking down exclusive deals that leave rivals at a disadvantage, by expanding into new markets not just to compete but to dominate, and then by aggressive acquisitions. Over the past 10 years, US big tech firms have bought up over 1,000 other companies. These are not just business deals. They are tactical strikes to buy out the rising competitors, absorb the new technology, and kill the threat before it grows. It is a pattern, and it works. And the price of all this is less competition, fewer new ideas, and reduced innovation across the industry. In fact, some big tech companies have even been accused of making their rival products worse, not to improve their own, but to protect their monopoly. And we all lose. We get fewer choices, slower progress, and a tech industry that serves its own power more than the public good. Monopolies don't just dominate markets, they reshape them. And when big tech sits at the top, it is often the little guys who pay the price. Tech giants have enormous control over their platforms, and that means they can set the rules for everyone else, the suppliers, the distributors, and especially small businesses. Over 70% of small business in the US rely on online ads to reach customers. But the catch is, big tech controls the ad space, and ad prices keep rising. In some industries, ad costs have jumped more than 25% in just 1 year. That's a massive hit for small businesses with tight budgets, while large corporations can simply outspend them. The very platforms that once gave small businesses visibility and opportunity are now becoming gates they have to pay more and more to pass through. And it does not stop at ads. These platforms can charge higher fees, collect valuable data from sellers, and use the data to compete directly with them. It is a case of classic squeeze. You rely on the platform to survive, the platform raises the cost, and eventually the platform becomes your biggest competitor. This undermines the entrepreneurial spirit and fair competition that are supposed to be the hallmark of a healthy market. Technology is not just a part of our lives anymore. It shapes them. From how we work and learn to how we shop, communicate, and stay informed, big tech platforms have become essential tools in our daily routines. It offers unparalleled convenience and saving individuals and businesses considerable time, cost, and effort. Communication and collaboration have been dramatically enhanced through cloud-based platforms like Microsoft Teams and Zoom, which have become critical, especially in remote work environments. These tools facilitate seamless interaction, file sharing, and document collaboration, significantly boosting productivity. The integration of digital tools and systems has led to rapid increase in productivity and efficiency. Processes that were once manual and time-consuming are now automated, reducing human error and allowing employees to focus on higher value tasks that drive revenue and growth. Furthermore, big tech possesses an unprecedented global reach, connecting billions of individuals worldwide. This widespread connectivity drives low-cost, reliable access to information for vast population, playing a crucial role in bridging the digital divide and fostering global inclusion. The undeniable convenience offered by the big tech platforms, while profoundly beneficial, presents a subtle yet significant dilemma. The very things that make these tools so powerful, seamless integration, personalized experience, instant results, also makes them hard to live without. Many users describe these services as addictive, and they are not exaggerating. Whether it is the constant stream of personalized content, the need to always be online, or the fear of missing out, unplugging is hard now, and it will only going to get harder. Big tech is not just keeping up with the future, they are building it. These companies are at the very heart of technological transformation, constantly expanding their services and testing new user experiences. From self-driving cars to smart assistants, from healthcare algorithms to generative AI that writes, designs, and even codes, big tech is pouring billions of dollars into AI development. And the economic potential is massive. Generative AI tools alone could generate billions in productivity gains for the US economy. Across sectors, AI promises to boost efficiency, reduce costs, improve services, and even unlock entirely new industries. Big tech is undeniably a key driver of this revolution. Their investments in infrastructure are accelerating AI at a pace we have never seen before. The tech industry as a whole plays a vital role in job creation, economic growth, and global innovation. But this advancement presents a double-edged sword. AI promises billions of dollars in productivity gains and substantial economic growth. However, the concentration of AI development within a few dominant firms, given their existing market power and control over vast data sets, raises concerns that privately profitable advancements may diverge from socially desirable ones. Big tech has changed the world, and there is no doubt about it. Their tools connect billions of people. They have made life faster, easier, and in many ways better. They have driven innovation, opened new industries, and unlocked the full potential of technologies like AI. But with great power comes great responsibility, or maybe greater risk. These companies now hold enormous influence over how we communicate, what we see, how we work, and even what we believe. Their business models rely on mass data collection. Their algorithms can inadvertently amplify misinformation, foster societal division through filter bubbles, perpetuate biases leading to discriminatory outcomes, and could act as a tool for political influence. And their market dominance leaves little room for smaller players or alternative voices. The central question of whether a handful of companies should control our digital lives, therefore, extends far beyond mere economic efficiency. It takes a deep dive into the core aspects of privacy, free speech, democratic integrity, and fair competition. Ultimately, shaping a more equitable, democratic, and user-centric digital future requires collective action. This involves continued vigilance and robust enforcement from policymakers, active engagement from civil society organizations advocating for user rights, and informed choices from individual users demanding greater accountability and control over their digital experiences. The stakes are high, and navigating the path ahead requires a collective effort to ensure that the digital world serves the broader interest of humanity rather than remaining in the hands of privileged few. Thank you.